Hi, I'm Ryan, and welcome back to the channel. This is my friend Madison and Belinda from the YouTube channel Passenger Seat. I'll link them down in the description below. And as you know, or as you may not know, I suffer from a chronic illness called neuropathy. And this whole channel is about me telling my story about thriving through adversity and difficult strife, whether it's mental or physical or whatever you're going through. And both of these people have dealt with both mental and physical challenges. And my friend Madison here has had a crazy freaking story. So I'm gonna start with you, Madison. You have a background as being a personal trainer. You're really big into fitness like I was. You were just counting them macros, popping them protein shakes, eating chicken and rice and broccoli like a good fit weightlifter should do every day of the week, 5 days a week. And then all of a sudden, health strikes.
Yep.
Okay, you just have a downward spiral for several months. I don't remember if it's years of these terrible things. And I have a background with anorexia, and anyone that has ever dealt with an eating disorder, I got really into physical fitness as part of my eating disorder. And I was actually trying to gain muscle, which sounds counterproductive when you are anorexic.
Right.
But my idea was, I'm going to get really fit and strong. And instead, I didn't. So I wanted to exactly. And I wanted to ask you, so tell us a little bit about your story with your background in fitness training and how it all kind of went haywire.
Okay, so after I got out of high school, it was about 2 years of kind of just a dry spell of not really knowing what I wanted to do with my life. You know, like I was kind of going, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go? And I decided, I really want to help people, and me being the kid who grew up really skinny and a little guy that I was just an easy target.
I relate.
Easy to bully, right, for sure.
Shoved in lockers.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like it was endless. And I was a twin too, so I got the clone and the you're a twig type thing. So I was harassed on multiple fronts. But going back to the skinny thing, I wanted to help kids and, adults like me who grew up that way to get that physical appearance that they wanted. So that they wouldn't feel like they were easy to bully anymore. So that they could feel like they had some strength. And
you did it. You did it. You were really, really fit. I'll pop a photo up right now. Wow. Wow, that's me reacting to something that's only on screen and I can't see it now. But that's how YouTube works. So tell me, after you got fit, where did it really kind of start going south for you? What was kind of the turning point of when you started realizing you had some other problems in your gut area or in your physical system that started popping up?
It was after I graduated college. So I went to a career college for personal fitness training directly. But after I got out and after I was starting to look for work, I was NSCA certified. I was graduating from college, it was a diploma because it was a career college and I'd only gone for like a year. But I did graduate. And after that hit, when I was looking for work, I was going to multiple gyms. I think I went to Planet Fitness, 24-hour fitness.
Planet Fitness is a joke.
Yeah, I went to multiple interviews. I was doing very well. And then I started getting anemic. I started, I was losing weight. I was getting pains in my stomach, like sharp pains that were like doubling over and clenching.
What were you eating during this time? I'm just curious. Like, what was your diet like?
At the time, my diet was terrible. I was eating like fried foods and fast food and just the stuff that you really shouldn't be eating. The reason I was doing that was because I was trying to gain muscle and bulk up. Right. The way you do that is through just like strict calories. You just pack it on. And me being a skinny guy with a quick metabolism.
That's what everyone told me to do that I could never mentally do because if anyone relates to a biodysmorphic mindset, you just cannot do it. I was like trying to clean bulk and I just got stuck in a mode of being stuck at weight. I couldn't gain weight. Mostly because I wouldn't push myself. So at least you were able to push yourself. Where I couldn't do that. So you started getting all these pains in your stomach and stuff like that. And you went to a doctor, I assume.
I went to a doctor. I had multiple tests done. I had a colonoscopy. I had my blood tested. I did some. I pooped in a cup. That's what I did. And
I did that too. Stool testing.
Sent the stool over, and all of them came out. You're fine. And I'm going. I'm dying. I'm losing. I lost 40 pounds within the space of 2 months in muscle and fat. There's something wrong there. When I was going number 2, my food was coming out looking the same way it did going in. There's something wrong.
Did anyone ever suspect maybe autoimmune? Like you maybe triggered autoimmune?
Mm-mm.
Interesting.
Nobody had that idea. And as far as my family goes, all of us were looking at each other, just scratching our heads, going, "What's happening?"
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of people that have chronic illness that watch this can relate to that, especially even in my situation with just strict small fiber neuropathy. We don't know what's causing it yet, and it's just like everyone's just like, "Oh, we don't know. You're fine. You look good."
Yeah, you look good.
You look
the
good.
outward
I'm
appearance,
dying.
you look fine. Yeah,
My
but
insides
you're
hurt.
dying. Yeah, my insides hurt. I'm in pain.
So you just started having all these pains and all this like kind of started. How long did that kind of last before you started going? Because you went a homeopathic route.
I did
at one point.
I did,
and that's kind of what I'm doing too right now. I'm going more of a natural path. I'm looking at the way I'm eating, the things I'm supplementing with herbs and all that stuff that comes from the earth, because I think that those are generally the best things for you.
Right.
You can call me a hippie or whatever you want. I look more like a hardcore Christian dude than anybody else. I do not look like a hippie. But so you started doing that, and is that kind of when you started seeing a reverse in this?
Yeah, so what ended up happening was because of everything that was happening, I was also going through random mood swings. Like
Hormonal.
Right, well, and I was getting random adrenaline rushes. So whatever emotion I was feeling at that time, I was feeling the upteenth degree of that emotion. Mm-hmm. And one day I lashed out at my aunt or something like that at 4th of July celebration. We went to Stadium of Fire, and my big brother noticed that, and he had gone through something very similar. So he knew someone who pulled him out of that stuff, and he looked at me and he said, "Hey, I know someone who can help you. Let me help you."
Dr. Oz.
No, definitely
Dr.
not.
Oz, you're watching this. I need a hero.
He needs help. This guy needs the help he needs. But yeah, so he knew someone who was more into like the it's like a muscle testing thing that they do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
You may have heard of it.
Yeah, kinesiology is what.
Kinesiology, as I call it.
Kinesiology.
Kinesiology.
It sounds like you're sneezing when you say it.
Kinesiology, yeah.
Bless you.
And have you found any things now that you do on your own time? Like what have you learned from this experience that do you think has bettered your life or made you a stronger person? I find through my adversity right now, and even not knowing, I found that this has given me a reason to give back and to help others and get through things. Because I found that by helping others actually makes me physically feel better.
Mm-hmm. Truly.
And maybe have you found any type of like meditation or self-reflection that helps you kind of mind-body connect that kind of has helped you stabilize your inner and your energy and your other self?
Many things.
Many things.
Can
you go through a little list of that? Because I think maybe some people could get some help.
Right, for sure, absolutely. So when I started seeing a change was when I noticed where my stresses were coming from. I feel like a lot of my physical issues started here.
I think that's how a lot of things start.
Right, and it worked its way down. I realized that my life was so stressful at the time, so I made the changes that I wanted to make work-wise, how I made my money, and even down to the people and what I watch, like what I surround myself with as to what fits my soul's code, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What I enjoy, so that my life is one, less stressful, and two, less to worry about, you know? And I found a purpose. Instead of going for training, I had the feeling of going for acting, and ever since I've decided to become an actor and screenwriter, my life has become substantially more...
I think that's a really important key. I think a lot of things in our life that start as stressors always start in our here, mm-hmm. and they go to your gut, and they're kind of like this weird connection. And I think maybe you, Belinda, is really strong to homeopathic stuff. Maybe you can talk saying that you should see a homeopath or anything, but just like how this experience has helped you and what you found has helped your inner anxieties that everyone has. Because I think anyone that has chronic illness has really bad anxiety issues because they're always on edge of like, when am I going to flare up? Is today going to hurt? Is tonight going to hurt? Am I going to be able to sleep? Are my feet going to hurt tonight? Whatever. So for you, what have you found that's kind of helped you calm your inner anxieties that you said to me earlier you've never found anywhere else have been able to do?
Yeah, well, interestingly, I went to the same place Madison has been, mm-hmm. and he didn't feel like it was beneficial.
And that's just because everybody's different.
Sure.
Yeah,
everyone's
so it's
different.
like I'm learning. This is something I just discovered recently, so it's like I'm still finding out what it's all about because it made such huge changes in my life.
Right. What was the specific change?
So it's hard to describe if you don't understand the theory behind the way that our bodies work and the way that our own individual constitutions work. The idea is that we all have personal constitutions, and I'm actually getting more and more of the feeling, the idea from this and from other things that I've been really into, that our personality is actually completely intertwined with our genetics and our biology.
Totally
of
is.
Our bodies.
It's totally, we're biological beings.
Yeah, and this took it to the next level for me as far as that connection goes. Because now
We're getting into the Joe Rogan zone now.
Like,
I mean, it's some weird stuff.
I think, like, for one thing I learned through my own constitution is that when we become unbalanced, we lose connection with our heart. We go into like an anal retentive state.
Yep.
To just
Fetal
kind
position.
of summarize it. And so when I started taking his remedies, it actually supported my actual heart. I've actually worked this all out myself. He didn't really tell me all this. He didn't really tell me much. He's just like, this will help you. And I was like, okay. And he's like, bye.
What were these supplementals?
One is a homeopathic remedy that matches your own homeopathic constitution.
Is it like a vitamin? Is it a...
It's this little pellet.
Okay. I think there. So here's where I think a lot of physical change happen. It's actually been scientifically studied. The placebo. I'm not saying this is a placebo. It's been possibly shown that you can have a genetic component within your DNA that makes you more susceptible to a placebo effect versus a non-placebo effect. You may be more affected by a placebo than somebody else based on a DNA composition, which I found really interesting. And this is something that Dr. Rhonda Patrick has said on Joe Rogan podcast, so I'll link that down below if you're interested in that. But I think that there's this whole thing of what you're trying to say is this mind-body connection, and that anything that goes on in our mind greatly has a strong physical connection to what happens in our body.
That's what I learned is when I started, and I on the placebo effect, because I think a lot of people probably would assume that that's what homeopathic is because of the...
I think people assume it is, but I've also met people that have died because they gave up. My grandfather had double bypass surgery, and 23 years ago today, he's doing great now. He's 85, kicking butt. That man is a freaking rock.
That's awesome.
Nothing will take him down. I had another person in my family get the same surgery and went completely fine. No complications. And something mentally just switched in their head, and they gave up and they passed away.
Wow.
And so there is this, like, you need to keep on it. Something I want to really push forward is that if you want to do something, you may not physically be able to do it. You may not physically be able to, say, walk now or whatever, but you go after your dreams. Like, there's nothing stopping you but yourself. And I know, like, there are going to be people out there that say, like, I'm confined or whatever, but you just have to alter what your purpose and dream is. You know what I mean? Like, you can still do amazing things. I always bring up, we talked about Stephen Hawking. Nothing stopped that man. That guy went on a zero gravity flight in the air, and he had ALS.
I also want to say on that topic that one thing I've now is even more than ever, and I've felt this way for a few years now, but when it comes to health issues, mental health included, but physical issues, keep looking, keep trying things. Like, be cautious. Don't, there's things you can jump into and they can be really extreme.
There are so many people.
There's a few times where I feel like I've gone a little overboard on some things I've tried, but I'm think that there's nothing you can do.
Giving up is the only thing that'll make you fail. If you never give up, you can't fail. That's just a fact of life. Always look to see how you can better yourself today. And I think we've given you some ideas on some things you can look into and find other hobbies that you can do that really lead to your true purpose and what your true passion is in life.
Yes, one more thing that I'm agreeing with what you said earlier. Purpose is a huge one. I feel like if a person has purpose, that makes them that much stronger. Another tool that I've helped is body code. There are practitioners out there and experts in body code who have helped me pull me out of issues both energetically, spiritually, and physically. They also put you on a supplement routine and whatnot.
Whenever you're dealing with supplements, always make sure to check that with your general practitioner, just because sometimes supplements are not regulated by the FDA. So
Yes.
Not to say the FDA is the best at everything anyways. At the end of the day, you are the shaper of your destiny, and that's what I want to leave you with this video. I'm Ryan. If you found it helpful, please share it with other people, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.